The Guitar Master asks, who do you think would win in a fight? Cloud Strife or Squall Leonhardt? You could have just put Cloud or Squall, I would have still known who you were on about. Well, I suppose I would have made some kind of jokey thing about, well, a Squall is an actual storm, so that might win, because it's got thunder, but, yeah, never mind. I'd probably go with Cloud, due to the fact that, hasn't he seen actual combat, whereas Squall was at a military academy? Cloud had the bigger sword, and also Cloud was kind of less whiny and irritating in general. Because I mean, Squall was like kind of going around going, oh no, I don't want to speak to anyone, I'm going to be in a mood all the time and I'm going to sulk over here and there. Whereas Cloud was a bit more sociable. So I think, on the basis of all those things, I'd say Cloud. And yet I still prefer Final Fantasy VIII to Final Fantasy VII. Echoes asks, are you a talking ferret by nature or a ferret that has been genetically modified? Oh, I'm entirely natural. I'm a talking ferret by nature. Oh yes. Nothing about me is genetically modified. I'm perfect the way I am. Ha 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 ha. MNE for life asks, do you like mudkips? No. XX the Heart Girl XX asks, if you could live your life as any video game character, who would it be? And then kind of rephrase the question, which said, or if you could live your normal life as a video game character, who would it be? I'll answer both. Living the life of an actual, like, if I was to live the life of an actual character, like, rather than living my life as one, I think I'd probably take Nate Drake's life. I mean, apart from the whole, you know, everyone wanting to kill him thing, it's the fact that, you know, it's a life of action and adventure and danger and intrigue, and you know, he gets people like Elena and Chloe and, you know, all around him all the time, which I wouldn't complain about. So yes, I'd go with Nate. Who would I live my current life as? Yeah, what video game character would I live my current life as? That's a tricky one, because I don't know. Nope, I honestly don't know. So yeah, but I'll tell you who I don't want to live. Anyone that I don't want to live the life of. That's any mute character. So we're talking like Link, Amaterasu, Alundra, Gordon Freeman, that kind of thing. You know, where they don't say a word. Because I found that in games like that, everyone else just puts words in their mouth. It's like, what's that, Link? Little Timmy fell down a well? No. But you just kind of, you can see it in his face, he just wants to strangle them, saying, I didn't say that, I didn't say anything. So, yeah, I wouldn't want to live as one of those people. Because that would be horrible. Sonic SMX asks, how do you record your commentary live? Very simple. I've got Audacity and I have that plugged in. Well, I have a headset plugged in, and I hit record on Audacity when I start record on the thing, on the other recording as well for the game. I usually have a cue point actually, which indicates where I need to edit them together. It's usually something as simple as, you know, when it says like press start on your any given sort of game menu, I'll usually say start when I press start, so that the two are kind of aligned, and so I align the two there, and then obviously the rest of it then falls into line. There's a little bit of lag here and there where like the commentary somehow starts to creep ahead, but that's easily edited as well. I mean, I do have to edit the two parts together, but you know, it's not that difficult if you've got the cue point. So that's how I use Audacity, and I have a cue point. So there you go. Bloggy Blogster asks, what is your favourite game that you're currently LPing of all time? Right. Favourite game that I've LP'd, I'll change it slightly so it's not just currently LPing. Well, out of what I'm currently LPing, probably Ratchet and Clank. I absolutely adore the Ratchet and Clank series, especially the PS3 ones. But overall, out of everything that I've actually LP'd, Final Fantasy X-2 was probably the game that I enjoyed the most as an LP. It was just so easy to make comments on. It was, you know, it had such a positive reaction from most people. And yeah, it also was actually the LP that gained me most of my fans in the first place, so that kind of works to its advantage. So yeah, of all time, that would be it would be that. I'll get back to you on that one. Also from the same person, what is your favourite game system? At the risk of sounding like a fanboy, I'm going to say that the consoles I probably enjoyed the most, in terms of what games were on them, would have to be the PlayStation series of consoles, basically all three of them. Because I mean, the PS1 pretty much shaped the way that the games that I like these days. The PS2 had such a fantastic game library that I'm still adding to, because there's so many fantastic games on that console. And the PS3, after an initial shaky start, it is actually proving to be a fantastic console that I absolutely love. But if I had to pick between the three of those, I would say the PS1, just for the nostalgia factor above anything else. You know, it was the first console I was really kind of serious about. I had NES and SNES and all the rest of it, but you know, that was the one that sort of introduced me to a wider range of games, if you will. So yeah, PS1, we'll go with that one. I Can Fix That asks, have you ever been to the US, and if so, where? I have, actually. I went to Florida years ago, when I was about 13, 14, that sort of age, which would have been about 10 years ago, Christ. I went to Florida, and I wasn't that impressed with it, but that's Florida, that is, probably. It's Orlando. It was pretty much, you know, tourist central, so the whole area just felt a bit like it was trying to get money off you. Like it was all sort of a facade, and there was nothing kind of real about it. And I think that's why I didn't really like it, because when I went to Paris last year, okay, I went to a lot of the touristy places, but because I was like in the city and wandering around on my own, I got to see glimpses of the real Paris in amongst everything else anyway. But with Florida, everywhere you go, it's touristy and everything else, and I think that's what bugged me about it. So yeah, I'd still like to see other parts of the US, though. I'd like to go to New York, and I know maybe some of the other places that aren't as well known. Just, you know, to sort of actually see it properly, because it seems like a nice enough place.